On this episode, we're working on the steering column. Yes, it's difficult, but you can do it. Reference my seat height reference chair I borrowed from my grandson. I don't know what the seats are going to be, and I don't know what they're going to look like, and I don't know how they're going to be installed yet, but we have the stock cushion seat in there. It would be pretty close. Feels like it's pretty close. And so, I don't know if it's right, but it's a way. I centered the dashboard gauge cluster console thing as my reference point. So if we're driving, we're looking at the middle of the console, which looks to be about, I mean, it's close to center, but I don't think it's actually centered. But the cab slopes down, so when you try to make measurements, it's all off by degrees. I mean, there would be a way, and we might get to that, but so the jackasses before this had a bunch of holes drilled in here. If I line that up, that looks pretty straight. Centered to me. Going straight back. And then by the looks of it, I'm going to come out right behind the valve cover. So, I can't move the motor. I've already done the exhaust. So, you know, we'll figure something out. No worries. But something to consider, which I did not, because you don't think about these things until you think about them. So I had to make this hole bigger to get my brake pedal on. Originally the hole was only like this big and I angled it in there, but with the transmission in the way I can't get my angle back. So option one is take the cab off, get the arm on there. You got to get it on to the pivot point on the master. Option two was take the master loose, twist it, get it on there, reinstall it. But I think, you know, we'll just cut a bigger hole because I don't know how many times this is going to happen yet. And then we'll just, you know, we'll build a cover plate that sandwiches over that, hides it. There's going to be carpet, some other stuff. So we'll take care of that. So there's only 2 points of contact on this setup. There's the floor and the dashboard. So we're gonna flex that dashboard if you pull on that steering wheel. Originally, I don't know what was on there, but whoever redid it in '68 put in a pedal box that mounted to the firewall and then mounted to this, and that held their steering wheel and their brake pedal and their clutch pedal because they redid it all through the firewall instead of under the floor. So we went back to under the floor. There's some mounting holes up here. I could probably build something that comes around, because I still got to get I still have to get a gauge cluster in there. So first I'm going to put the steering column in where I want it, and then we have to figure out the hole in the floor. The hole in the floor is going to be huge. And then my head's going to get in the way, but that's okay. So we're kind of limited as to where this thing can go because of the angle. So I mean, that's about it. And then this damn thing steps down. So we're gonna have to cut that. We're gonna have to weld something on there that we can bolt to. I got good pedal travel, so I'm not touching anything on the motor unless I go all the way to the floor and then I touch the collector. But I mean, that's 6 inches of travel, 7 inches of travel, so we're not going to get 7 inches of travel in our brake pedal. We're probably only going to get 2 or 3 at the most. So we could cut this, section it out, re-weld it, and make this shorter, get it closer to the floor, but that is for later. He's really tall. I'm not. I can get my foot on there pretty easy. First, I'm going to come up here. I got to waller out this hole. There's one. Well, they had a gauge, or yeah, they had something over here. There's 4 holes here. One big one that's elongated. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to make this hole bigger so I can get my thing in there, and then I'll probably have to come in here and I'm going to weld some 1/8 flat bar on the back so that this doesn't bend so much. There's one support brace that goes right there. So there's all the holes I'm working with, and I gotta make this one over there a little bit, and then we'll fill this stuff in. So for our purpose, it looks like the lower you get it on the kick panel, the better chance I'm going to have of clearing the valve cover.
Shining like the sun, you know, baby, the only one. My soul.